pussy nigga usually pop a trigger if the hand speed.
Whoa, will you look at that? It's my Young Thug alarm going off. Let me just turn it off real quick. Alright, we're ready to go. But Young Thug has returned with another full-length LP titled Punk, which is meant to be this rock-inspired, guitar and piano-heavy piece of work, with these trap elements tossed in between, because what's Atlanta without trap? And with the heavy feature list of some of the biggest artists in the industry, and a notable feature that I didn't expect at all, like I don't even know how this shit happened, makes this album a somewhat interesting piece of work that's been tossed up in the air for the past 2 years since the drop of his previous album So Much Fun, with him now trying to gain a new sense of sound and mixing it with his older style. So we start off with the track Die Slow, which is basically a narration of Thug's younger life about the complications between his parents and his father ending up in a hospital after getting shot, you know, narration stuff. But moving forward, we have our usual dose of Thug on this more easier going beat on the track Stupid Asking, that's meant to split into 2 different sections of songs, but being honest, I'm not really feeling this song as much even if it is Thug, with it seeming a bit boring in comparison to some of his other tracks. But then we're given a more interesting track such as Contagious, which has this piano heavy beat while Thug opens himself more to the listener, speaking on humility and his daughter to make this nice little poetic piece for us. But as we go forward, I do feel like I have to address that for a 20-track album, there are some songs I feel don't need to be on the album, with them seeming like they need a bit more work if they want to make the wave that Thug's trying to be on, instead of them sounding like if NBA Youngboy was from Atlanta. But that doesn't discern from the fact that there are some bangers on this album, such as with the second track on this album, Stress, featuring J. Cole and T-Shine, being what I feel should have been like a good majority of this album, with it carrying the right elements that I feel to match that whole trap and roll sound that Thug's trying to go for, with J. Cole and T-Shine having very fun features in my opinion. Or even dropping Jules, which has this more piano heavy sound while Young Thug dishes out these lines on his wealth and fame. As for the production, it's solid with big faces such as Weezy and Metro Boomin jumping on the album because of course they would, and giving us something a little more different than what we're used to hearing, such as on the songs Bubbly with Drake and Travis Scott, or the track Stupid Asking, which I mentioned previously that I wasn't really feeling as much myself. But for the most part, the production and mixing on this album was solid, but you could tell that something better could have been done for it. Overall, this album wasn't anything too crazy. If anything, I would say it hit under my expectations for Thug, especially when looking back and seeing that this isn't the first rodeo with the whole trap and roll sound. So to put this on a scale, I'm giving this a strong 6 out of 10, with there being I feel some tracks that needed to be worked on a bit more, or just have somewhat weak beats, or just don't need to be on the album at all. And while there are some songs that are decent, they don't hit hard enough to distract from the tracks that don't appeal as much. But how do y'all feel about the new Young Thug album? Do you think that he can improve on this sound?
I hope so.
Or will he be moving on to something else? Let me know down in the comments while liking and subscribing to the channel. Make sure to follow my IG and Twitter. And if you like the illustrations used in this video, make sure to follow the artist as well because she's dope. And on that note, I'll see you on Monday for whatever video I decide to upload. But it will be music related because that's what I do. But I'll see y'all later. Peace.
It is what it is. It is what it is.